Have you ever wondered why some rock stars who, let's be honest, definitely don't fit traditional beauty standards just exude this massive magnetic appeal? It's kind of baffling, right? But the psychology behind it is absolutely wild. If you want to master secrets exactly like this, please like and subscribe to my channel Inside Human Mind for more explainers just like this one. Let's get into it.
So let's dive right in and totally dismantle this super common myth that attractiveness is just pure genetics. You know, like your height or the size of your nose. We see people spending literal millions on plastic surgery or crazy supplements trying to fix these quote-unquote flaws. But the real secret? It actually lies in a magnetic energy that you completely control. Psychology tells us attractive people come in literally all shapes and sizes, and the main driver isn't just what's on the surface.
Which brings us to Section 1. The myth of physical attraction.
The fundamental key here is the internal energy you carry and put out into the world. If people are drawn to your vibe, they will literally overlook physical imperfections. It's like a superpower. When you project positivity, comfort, and self-assurance, it creates this massive halo effect. We are just naturally drawn to people who make us feel good, which completely proves that your internal state is way more important than fitting into some perfect, symmetrical mold.
All right, let's look at Section 2. Work with your features.
This slide brilliantly illustrates our first real, actionable step. Someone who knows exactly how to dress for their unique shape, or say, lets their natural frizzy curls just fly, is always going to look more attractive than someone who just totally neglects their presentation. And that's regardless of traditional beauty standards. It's really all about working with what you have instead of fighting it, you know? If big, curly hair frames your face perfectly, let it do its thing. Finding outfits that highlight your actual shape shows the world you're comfortable in your own skin. And man, that comfort is inherently magnetic.
Moving right along to Section 3, the power of details.
Looking at this famous self-help book, The Magic of Thinking Big, we learn something super profound. The embarrassment we sometimes feel about our appearance, it can really only be defeated by taking simple, deliberate actions. I mean, we've all felt that pang of insecurity on a bad hair day, right? But the psychological cure isn't just wishing the fear away. It's actively doing something about it to just shut down that inner critic.
So by executing these really straightforward steps, you aren't just looking neater. You are consciously placing yourself in a proactive, positive space. Think about it. When you spend an hour at the barber or even just take 30 minutes to shine your shoes, you're actively investing in yourself. You're physically in a space dedicated to self-improvement. And that instantly shifts your mental state from anxious to quietly confident. It's a real game changer.
And taking the time to improve those physical details gives your mind the hard evidence it needs to genuinely adopt that confident state. This perfectly highlights a core lesson from James Clear's Atomic Habits. You're essentially proving to your own brain, with actual data, that you are a person of value who is totally worth taking care of.
That leads us to Section 4. Affirmations and actions.
So the really crucial point here is that when your ego pipes up and tells you aren't good enough, you've got to turn that around. Literally look in the mirror and verbally repeat affirmations until you actually believe them. Okay, I know, it might feel a little cheesy at first, but the psychology is absolutely rock solid. The more you tell yourself something, the more you rewrite your own mental narrative. You really have to let go of the ego holding you back and just give yourself permission to feel attractive.
But, and this is a big but, words just aren't enough on their own. You absolutely must pair those affirmations with the actual habits a highly attractive person would naturally do. You can't just speak it into existence, you have to act it into existence. So when you hit the gym or walk with pride right after giving yourself that pep talk, you lock in that new reality. Your actions validate your words.
All right, Section 5, projecting ultimate confidence.
Just look at 71-year-old rock stars like Iggy Pop. Now, he's not classically handsome by any stretch, yet he has women absolutely fawning over him. Why? Because his stage presence and unshakable attitude literally turn a 4 into a 10. It's wild! And you don't need to be a famous musician to harness this. When you project that level of confidence, your energy dictates how people perceive you, totally overriding their objective visual assessment.
Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life echoes this exact same sentiment. He emphasizes that merely adjusting your posture, just standing straight up with your shoulders back, makes you taller, takes up more space, and signals immense confidence. It's the physical manifestation of a psychological state. When you stand up straight, you're telling the world, and honestly yourself, that you belong in that space and you are definitely not afraid to be seen. Just notice this vital contrast here. Shrinking back into a corner gives off a really sheepish, kind of negative vibe. But being fully present and engaged shows people that you genuinely value them. I mean, nobody has ever been magnetically attracted to someone just because they were acting sheepish in the corner, right? When you walk tall and engage, you just radiate this proactive, highly attractive aura.
To project this ultimate rock star energy, you've got to regularly audit your body language. Make sure you aren't retreating inside your own head during conversations. When we feel insecure, it's so incredibly easy to get caught up in our own thoughts, which gives us that distant, dull stare. But attractive people, they are deeply present. They actively listen, focus entirely on the person in front of them, and make others feel genuinely valued.
And since optimistic people literally can't help but smile, you can do a quick 2-minute mirror trick. Just force a silly smile until it naturally becomes a genuine, contagious one. Seriously, smiling is contagious. People naturally want to be around those who make them feel happy and comfortable. Even if you're incredibly nervous, taking a split second to grin at yourself in the bathroom mirror breaks that tension immediately.
And finally, Section 6, the science of attraction.
You see, our preference for people who stand tall and put effort into grooming isn't some brand new modern invention. It stems directly from the evolutionary beginnings of our species. From a pure survival standpoint, a confident, large posture indicated health, capability, and security. We are biologically wired to gravitate toward those visual cues. That's exactly why fixing your posture works so universally across the board. Even our preference for specific physical traits, like the extensively studied baby face phenomenon, proves that attraction operates on deeply ingrained psychological rules. Now, we just talked about how energy absolutely trumps physical features, but it's still fascinating to note that when we do assess physical traits, our brains are basically just running biological algorithms that cross all cultural boundaries. From expert matchmakers to top-tier salespeople, anyone who studies body language knows that when you can't logically explain why someone is so attractive, psychology almost always holds the answer. Whether you're trying to win over a date, command a boardroom, or honestly just feel better about yourself when you wake up, understanding these underlying psychological levers gives you an incredible advantage in life.
So, I want to leave you with this provocative thought to apply right now, today. Check your posture right at this very second. Are you slumping and shrinking away, or are you actively engineering that magnetic state of mind that makes you completely impossible to ignore?